Hello everyone, it's Agnes coming to you with a lot of toys today, and I literally mean it. This is the Hot Wheel race truck, I guess, and and I do have a frame. So as you can see, it's very bendable and it's orange. So it's good to first add the base coat of some kind of a spray paint. You know I'm very impatient, so I'm going to spray paint it, let it dry, and now I'm going to nicely cover with the chalk paint since I do wanted to add some characteristics to it. Takes a little while to cover all those racetrack grooves and creases, but you know what? Nothing is undoable. So here I'm adding additional coat of spray of the chalk paint to my base, and it's actually this is one of those frame surfaces that I always tell you to get at the Dollar Tree because there's so many things you can do with those, and they actually look like those expensive thick canvases. So here I go. If you follow me for some time, you do know that I love me some patterns. So I'm on a mission here to plan my pattern. So what I'm starting to do is I'm going to make my pencil lines right on the bottom and then try to create the checks. Okay, so my goal here was to create at least 2 rows of checks. So I am using my ruler to plan my distances in between, and I always like to start from the middle because it's always easier, and it seems like, yeah, I'm getting there, even though I wasn't really planning and I wasn't really measuring except the distances. So what I like to do here is just make sure that whatever the lines, when you turn the sides, are aligned, because that always looks good. So now it's time to paint, and of course you paint any colors you like. I chose to paint with black, and I'm using actually my favorite paint brushes. They are made by Zen, and I'm going to for sure link all the information about them in the description. They are actually very short, and there's so many bristles in there that it seems like drawing the lines it's much easier with those. So look how fast it goes, and I just wanted to adjust here and there, and I will just go all around. See, the way I always start is I always try to start from the edges, outline my edges, and then I'll just fill it in inside. See how fast that goes? You cannot make, I mean, they're still kind of, wonky, but they are getting better. Just like that, I think I am getting to the whole edge. So now I do wanted to add some additional details. So what I like to do is I like to make little shadows of the literally dry white paint on my brush. Just to add a little bit more of a dimension, add a little bit more of an interest. So I'll just go randomly all around it. And of course, the next step is my gold. Let's not forget about my gold. Just because I do have a lot of little gold accents, you know me, I love me some adding some gold. I'm going to bring it all before, and then I'm going to use leftovers on my frame. So I know I'm going to be using the beads, so I'm the sliced beads. So I'm just going to coat them quickly with the gold paint that I'm going to link in the description, the name, and then I'm going to outline my base. Everything seems to be looking much better now when the gold is added. I'm super pleased. So now let's bring the racetrack, the plastic racetracks, and try to install them in the opposite corners with a lot of the hot glue. You do want to make sure before you're going to start to move around that all the corners are really secured. And now look what happens. I do have a little basket, but this is not what I was trying to make. So let's keep on working on our project. Obviously, we do have to make sure that all is dry and secure. So I'm bringing a second strip of my racetrack, and I'm going to install them in the 2 corners that are left, overlapping the previous one. So here it goes, a lot of the hot glue. And what do you see now? Look at this. What do we have? We do have a little lanterns. So now it's time to work on the beautification process. So I do wanted to for sure camouflage the connections in the corners. So I decided to add some beads. They are still the natural finish. They are not painted because I am not positive if I do wanted to use the gold or I do wanted to go with whatever the arms are. But as of right now, and this is how I usually build up the project, it just takes a little while to figure out. So of course you need to secure the connection right in the middle, go with the final touches to make sure that the orange is not showing, and make sure that everything looks nice and neat. It seems like the beads are being painted white. So now I went to my junk box of all the wooden pieces and I decided to use random pieces of wood that I have in there to decorate the top. Yes, I could have actually used a pretty button, but I did not have a nice base. So of course, here I go back to my gold and trying to match this all. I just so love to add those details. So now as I'm looking all around it, I'm thinking that I do, as I covered the outside of my lantern, now I do, because we can call it lantern now I do need to cover the inside of it somehow because there are obviously openings there. So I decided to bring my Jenga blocks and this time paint them white with the chalk paint like everything else and install them on the inside. So let's keep on adding those touches. So I glue my half bead into the top of my circle and then of course installed it right to the top of my lantern. And now I'm getting to install my Jenga blocks and I do not want it to take a space, install them flat. So I decided to install my Jenga blocks on the sides inside my lantern. As I'm installing my Jenga blocks, of course, I'm thinking, what am I going to do with the arms of my lantern? Do I add the distressing? Do I wax it? It's just very difficult. But as I'm thinking about it, I decided that those beads on the outside of each arm need some decorating. So guess what? I brought my little crowns that I'm going to, again, list in the description of this video. And I decided to add them right to the corners. How cute that is. It really looks awesome. Every single time as I come up with some kind of ideas, I do not have all the details figured out. I usually install the ones that I am positive. And of course, I was still waging, what am I going to do with the arms? And it seems like my dark wax that I'm going, again, link in the description box, all the details, is going to be my answer. So what I like to do is I like to clean up my brush a little bit on the side and then apply the wax in all the ridges and then take my paper towels and just simply wipe it off and sort of create the shading. At least this is for me. It always working better than adding the paint. And at the same time, the wax is actually protecting my chalk paint, so nothing will be peeling off. So now it's time to move on to the bottom portion of my lanterns and install those gold half beads right on the bottom. Oh my goodness, look how cool that already looks. I am super pleased with the my project and at least with the base of it. So I decided to varnish this, means protect it with the DuraClear right and on the bottom and add this additional nice sheen to it. Because I am going to still look on the my arms, what else can I do in it? I didn't do any varnishing there, but I know I will. But here are the pictures and here are the details on that little project, little lantern made out of kids' toys, literally, done right here. I absolutely love it. I am absolutely happy with the way it turned out with all those little details and checks and little crowns and everything all together. So I really hope that you did enjoy this, and I really hope that I inspired you to take random items and put them into use and experiment, because that's all what's all about. So it's again, if you did like this project, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for all the notification when I post a new video. Thanks for stopping by.